Hey folks, this is Alonzo Von Threet, Advanced Visualization Technology Productions, and AVTPro. I'm going to be showing you my latest installment to the ReadyRigs DVD system, which is the ReadyRigs, AVTpro's ReadyRigs facial animation rig. And so this is a DVD basically to show you how to do rigging or facial rigging in electric image animation system. Now, the thing about doing rigging in electric image is that there's a set number of tools, or maybe a limit of tools that you can use for facial animation. And so mainly what I'm going to be using is morph. So we're basically going to do a morph type of rig. There are GUI rigs, big GUI interfaces where you can create types of GUIs or graphic user interfaces for facial animation. Only thing is that it's time consuming, and it's not the quickest, easiest, and best way to get things done. It's great if you have a budget and you have time and you can do a hero model, like a main character that you're going to be animating a lot for traditional character animation or traditional facial animation. But there are tons of different, I'm not saying not tons, but there's a lot of different types of facial character animation tools nowadays. Matter of fact, if you pick up your phone and you use something like Snapchat, you can do a facial animation with facial tracking and facial capture directly on your phone, especially on the new iPhone. Matter of fact, they're still developing the technology with the iPhone X, but Apple bought FaceShift a couple of years ago, a few years ago. And so I don't think FaceShift is available. We're going to talk about it, but that was a facial capture system. But yeah, now I see what you did, Apple. You can directly do facial capture on your phone. And so there's some great innovations in that. And so that's a very fast, live action, automated system. And then there's the traditional keyframe system. And motion capture systems, and audio capture systems, and video capture systems. This is me in my OptiTrack video capture suit. And so we're going to talk about those type of things. But mainly we're going to focus around a couple of main areas of study. And so we're going to talk about how I did this particular character animation. This was out of a beta test. And so it was just actually the model was given to me, and using it for beta tests. I'm a EI beta tester for over 10 years, probably 15 or even longer. But this I did not model this, but so I didn't model the phonemes, but we're going to break this down. I did use a audio capture system with Motion Builder, and I use Mixamo animation for the body. I use soft body dynamics and InMesh for the clothes, and for soft body for the hair, InMesh for the clothes, Mixamo for the body, and then I keyframe the facial, the eyes, the fingers, and things like that. Let me show you this. Oh, I'm gonna turn the sound up.
Little sleep today. I've had little sleep.
So it was a really easy way for me. Not easy, but I used a lot of different methods to get this done fast, mainly. So import the data for the body, and then I animated the fingers to be more of what I wanted to be. And as you can see, her fingers rub across her face. And I didn't go too heavily involved, but it's not highly polished. Again, it was for a test. I changed the timing. The facial morphs were, they could be better, so we're going to go over stuff like that. But I animated the eyes and stuff like that. I didn't use a capture system, but there are capture systems involved, and that is partly what made putting this DVD together kind of time-consuming and complex. Also, I got involved in another project where I was doing some like crowd simulations. I do that with, I can import that into EI. I'm going to use a previous version of EI in order there's a new one coming out that is really great, but a lot of the stuff I've already done. Let's say the things that we're going to be talking about, like I've already done, years ago. And so some of those samples, like for edge loops. So I'm going to go down through this list of things that we're going to talk about, like modeling, get the correct edge loops, facial morphs, how to do that correctly, how to put the eyes in, the different phonemes, the SAD, and the different kind of GUIs, live audio tracking, and things of that sort. So this is what we're kind of slowing me down, because there's so much of this. It's innovating every day, and so setting up the morphs in EI. A lot of this is going to be really easy by the time I'm done with this. It's going to be really easy. There's a lot of morphs you'll be able to see how this body is set up, how the head is separated from the body, different ways of doing that. So here, how it's separated, and then the actual morphs, which is a ton of morphs, and how to make that work really, really well. As you can see, they're moving back and forth, and with the different facial animations, facial morph targets, sorry. So those, the newer version of EI automates that. And so that's what I was doing with some of the beta testing. And so these are the things that we're going to talk about when it comes to doing an animation here in EI, and how to automate it, what works best, what works quickest. And again, I've done GUI interfaces. They're not the fastest, and then there's EI lacks some of the tools. By beta testing, when the beta testing is done, when the final comes out, I don't know. I'm still suggesting stuff, and everything is always changing. But what we're going to do is the quick, fast way to get it done. There's reasons to use a GUI. There's a couple of reasons, like let's say you want to move 2 or 3 targets at once, and then you would need to program it. So we'll talk about those kind of things like XP. I don't know if XP is actually available, and I believe it's still usable in the latest. You can still use the previous version, but it doesn't come with EI. So even that could be a bottleneck. Maybe not. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. But I use XP generally for just fingers, but I do use it for certain rigs. It's in the my first rig DVD, the deformer rig, where I use it to deform the rig. But to set up a full facial rig, I would never do it like that because it's just too time consuming. I would, for certain things, yes. If you need, let's say, certain things like with the eyes, but there's other ways that we do eyes, eyelids, eyebrows that are better, faster, and more savvier for the short term or the intermediate EI project. So that's what we're going to focus on, is like how to get your facial rigs done quickly, what tools will make it fast. But even though we'll still go over all the different methods, we're going to have some XP rigging. I've seen other users do full XP rigs, and there's automatic rig scripts that we'll talk about that does that kind of stuff for you quickly. And so it's so changing. There's so much that changes so quickly that we're going to talk about how things evolve and how they evolve and become obsolete really quickly. So where you want to focus on, like even facial face shift and those kind of things, like you can't buy it. It's great for when it was available. You can't get it now. Mixamo, that's one I forgot to put here. So Mixamo, it was great. They have automatic face rigs, but I don't think you can get it now. It had automatic face rig. I do use the script, and it automatically generates a GUI for you. So, Fuse and things like that from Adobe, they automatically do GUI. So, do you really want to take the time to build one when you can just create a script? If you're only going to use EI and you're going to do a hero character for a long animation, yes. If you only just need one or two, yes. But in general, I do morphs. I don't do bones. And the morph window is a GUI. It is an interface, a graphic user interface to do that. So I generally use this and put this on another window. Now usually I don't have this many. I only have 6 or 5, but you can do so much, or 20, or you might have different groups of blend shapes, one for the eyebrows and stuff. So we'll talk about that, okay? So again, this was a second redo of my first one. I tend to say a lot of ooh, and all of that, it's not stutter or I tend to do that a lot. So I'm trying to cut down that so that you can, just to be more formal. But I generally don't apologize for that. So for you to, I pretty much think you can follow along with what I'm saying. I'll do my best. I'll try to be careful to enunciate and be very clear, and also to be very short when I can. But I tend to run on a lot because there's so much, and I don't like to take shortcuts. I like to fully explain things. So, but I'll try to do my best and show you only what needs to be done to get what you need done. So again, we're going to go through this. We're going to have a great time. A lot of this is already done. I have some models. I'm going to send this to you. You can still buy the DVD for $75, introductory offer, and I will send you pieces as it's done, and then you'll get the official download.
I've had little sleep today.
Okay, so here we go.